and welcome to Cancer season. Let's get started with today's vlog. As you can tell, we are starting off in the wilderness today because if you don't know, Mother Earth, Gaia, is quite connected to Cancer energy. Cancer energy is normally tied with mothering energy, nurturing energy, and what do we know of Mother Earth? She is very much that to us. Another thing though is that Cancer season has a lot to do with nostalgia and going back to your past, your roots, considering that is what that mother energy also connects to. So that's why I'm outside right now, actually in my parents' backyard, in a place where I used to sit all the time when I was younger and just hang out either with my family or by myself, where I would just sit down and make videos just like this one. So hello. Oop. I'm literally using a stick as a tripod right now because we're using the lovely Nature Touch, but right away I just wanted to talk a little bit about Cancer energy. So let's relate Cancer energy to its planetary ruler, which is the moon. The moon is one of the quickest moving cosmic bodies that you see around us. The moon shifts signs almost every like 2.5 days, I think it is, which shows, you know, a change in momentum or your emotions. Because the moon, Cancer, and specifically the 4th house, which is where this energy is naturally most comfortable, all represents this deeper personal connection that you have to the world around you. If we think about it, our emotions are what ground us. You know, if our emotions aren't good, we're probably not doing well, we're probably not going to feel successful or, you know, feel like we're accomplishing anything, because this energy opposes Saturn, Capricorn, in the 10th house, which is all about that more public success kind of energy. The Cancer energy is a lot more behind the scenes. It's hidden, it's private, it has a lot to do with your inner world and your inner emotions, the way that you personally, like I said, are connecting to things around you. Whereas like Scorpio is more about interpersonal connections, or Pisces is more about your collective emotions and whatnot, Cancer has a lot more of a personal touch involved to it that you have to pay attention to because it is a very personal thing. Cancer energy, I've noticed, is not one to be openly shared. Like there's a very selective sharing energy that you see with this energy, and it's only with the people that they feel a personal resonance to. Basically, if you think somebody can understand your emotions, obviously you're going to want to share with them more. And not even just people, but circumstances and different places you go. Cancer also relates a lot to the Chariot card in tarot, which is all about having to make these really discerning decisions along your journey, but you're going to have to find what resonates for you before you actually take that next step forward. Which, like I said, goes back to the whole personal resonance thing, which I think comes back to the moon. So that being said, since this video is about Cancer energy in general, whether it's a Cancer sun, Cancer rising, Mercury, Mars, Venus, it doesn't matter, whatever you have Cancer energy in, a little tidbit is to always look into what your moon placement is like, because that is always where that energy is going to go back to. For example, I know multiple Cancer suns, however they both have air moons, so they have a lot more of a need for bonding and connection on a mental plane to connect with those more emotional, nostalgic kind of energies that they see with like a Cancer sun. But if you were wondering where I'm walking to right now, you're about to see in just a second. This is a little route that I used to take pretty much every day when I came out into the wilderness to talk to myself, oops, and just enjoy nature and whatnot. They normally say knee high by July, but knee, a little bit higher than what we might anticipate for July, I would say. A big thing about Cancer energy is self-care, and if you know anything about me, one of my favorite self-cares is going out into nature and just experiencing life in a very like sensually stimulating way. You know, like the wind in my hair, the bugs in my teeth, that sort of thing. And I find that Cancer energy really does well with this kind of stimulation with the earth around them, because like I said, it ties back to that Gaia energy, the roots, to feel grounded, which also explains about why self-care and taking care of your mental health and, you know, emotional health is so important. Because if we think about roots and the energy behind that, you know, look at this. There's roots to a plant, but they're really underground. You can't really see them. There's a lot of nutrients and just self-care kind of work that you see happening underground for plants, but it makes it sturdy enough so whatever happens up here can happen and it's fine. It's not, you know, messed up. And that's what I think is just so interesting and symbolic about life around us, is that if you look at life in that kind of capacity, whoop, where, you know, you get to essentially get to be the one to add the nutrients to your roots so you can weather your own storm. You know, that is a lot of what Cancer energy does. And that's why I'm saying it's a very nurturing energy. It's a very loving energy, but loving in a personal regard where it knows the specialness behind certain things because it feels it personally. Welcome to one of my favorite places of my entire childhood, the wetlands. I gotta say, coming out here and just sitting in solitude for a second really reminds me a lot of when I was struggling a lot when I was younger. If you don't know already, your girl had a lot of like just mental health problems, emotional health problems, I guess you could say, where I just didn't know how to properly handle my emotions for a lot of my life until I took the bull by the horns and was like, I need to figure this out. And you know, one of the biggest coping mechanisms that I always had was just coming out here and just meditating and literally just going out into the middle of the field over there, even if it was winter, and just sitting and just for hours, just letting myself feel and experience and feel safe in doing so. And there's nothing like nature to make you feel safe in doing so for some reason. Just being able to be out here and experiencing the feeling of life around you is just, I don't know, it brings you back in touch with the part of yourself that I feel like the world is kind of has shamed, you know. I think that's probably the problem you see with, you know, Cancer energy, or why people kind of slander it a lot, is people don't like feminine energy. Misogyny and patriarchal societies are a complete example of that. So when you deal with this energy, it's almost extra important for you to take that time to, you know, go away from the world and go away from all these requirements and all of these more institutionalized ways of being, which you see more in the opposite house of Capricorn, and come back more into yourself. And like I said, find things that make you feel like, you know, you can take on the world, and it's going to be personal, very, very personal, and probably has a lot to do with your upbringing. I personally don't have any Cancer energy. It's in my 11th house, so the fact that I'm over here telling you guys how to nurture yourself says a lot about that. But specifically in my 4th house, I have Pluto, which gives me some pretty extreme Cancer energy in the sense that I get really strong physical reactions to things, because Cancer energy has a lot to do with your physical body. If you think about feminine energy in your body and the moon all representing, you know, your vessel, planet Earth, like I was saying earlier, it all goes back to that feminine energy and ties into the root of, you know, what's happening inside. This also ties in the post that I just had about physical health, and how your physical health is just a manifestation of what's happening within you. And you see that with the sextile between the 6th house and the 4th house. So in other words, taking care of your body and your emotional space is extremely, extremely important to you if you have Cancer placements. But obviously not even, because we all have a moon, we all have a 4th house, we all have Cancer somewhere in our chart. So it's just a matter of being able to see how this energy specifically resonates for you, and, you know, the personal touch that you can kind of bring out of that resonating feeling into the world. Hello. Hi. It's Mama's favorite baby. Oh, yes.
wanted me, of course, to do something. Okay, cut. Cut. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my room. My room, when we come back, we're going outside and seeing the great wonders of the outdoors. And we are back with my cute little star, Mola Badola. Look at that little face. Kind of like mine, isn't it? Yeah. It is a wonderful spring